Transmitting to you from Old Heart Radio.
Bup. Nah, just There you go. Now it's settling in. Yes. Good boy. Hello, you awful little hot dogs. I know. You're waiting to be boiled on up and gobbled on down, so hop on over here and get this podcast out of the way first. All right? Yeah, it's another episode of Coffee and Contemplation, and yeah, I happen to be your host, Old Heart, and yeah, I'm here. All right? Hope you're here too. Hope you're drinking a cup of coffee or whatever the fuck you need to do. Yeah, it's another episode. I really didn't start this episode with intentions of a subject per se, but you know, I'm here now. Bowie's in the house with me, so you got a guest spot with little Bowie Prince Tussie Bug. That's right, little BPTB. He's curled up in his bed. He's eating a dried dick. Which is... it's an insult I want to start using at people. You go eat a dried dick! Like, you don't even get a full bag of dicks. You just need to go eat a dry dick, okay? Bowie seems to love them. He chomps on pizzles all day. And that's literally what they're labeled at Mudbay. They're labeled as beef pizzles. So... exciting. Anyway, so like I said, he's in the house. He's not really gonna contribute much. He just sort of sits in his bed and looks at me like, "What, Papa? What the fuck you doing?" Which is all right. I already took him out for a walk this morning. You know, feeling spry. It was very cold. He gotta eat some frost. He was sort of into that. This is our little fur baby's first winter. So it's been interesting seeing him get used to the colder weather rather than the summer weather we've had for, you know, most of his life so far. But, you know, it is what it is. So I don't know if y'all have been hearing much about this mysterious Utah metal monolith, but it's obviously captured a good deal of attention. Another one has also popped up on a hillside in Romania, apparently. But as of just, you know, a little bit ago, I think yesterday, I'm looking at a New York Times article published December 1st, and it's talking about how 4 men in the middle of the night showed up and took down the monolith in the Utah desert. A adventure photographer named Ross Bernards apparently has disclosed evidence of said dismantling on his Instagram. Gosh, all the hot stuff happens on Instagram, right, folks? So that means you should probably hop on over and like our Instagram page. Just follow us at Old Heart Radio. It's there. Also, we're on Twitter at Old Heart in Space, or you can subscribe on YouTube. You know. But Mr. Bernards, I cannot think of the Nard dog every time I think of Bernard. The Mr. Nard dog must be his father, right? Said in the middle of Friday night, 4 men arrived and, you know, just like I said, dismantled the sculpture. And he even posted some cell phone photos of the event. And there's some jabronis with some headlamps, you know, pushing it over and whatnot. And the way it's described is, it says, around 8:40 p.m., men arrived. These 4 men arrived, their voices echoing in the canyon. And then working in pairs, they would give the monolith some really hard shoves to make it tilt toward the ground. And then they'd push in the opposite direction, trying to get it to kind of wiggle and uproot. And eventually, it seems like they popped it out and landed on the ground. Then it was broken apart and ferried off in a wheelbarrow. So I wonder if these guys that broke it apart, I mean, so, you know, you jump right to the suspicion, like, these are the people that put it there. But maybe they're just some people that, like, were like, fuck it, we're gonna go take it down. I don't know why they have to be quasi-hicks. Let's get out there to the desert and take that down. I don't think that's how they sound. Anyway, Andy L. Lewis, a professional sportsman. I don't know why the funniest part of this whole story to me is the phrase professional sportsman who lives nearby in Moab, Utah, took credit for the sculpture's removal, posting a video on his Facebook page. Mr. Andy L. Lewis is a 34-year-old slackline performer who specializes in high-altitude stunts and was part of Madonna's 2012 Super Bowl halftime show. I mean, I'm gonna give you credit. I just think shit, shout-outs to anybody listening out there. You hot dogs, you are amazing. Thank you for listening always. We've had a great year because of you. So go out there and, like I said, find us on Instagram at Old Heart Radio, on Twitter at Old Heart in Space, and subscribe on YouTube. Just Old Heart Radio. Not that we're gonna ever make money off of YouTube because we definitely curse too much, but fuck it. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not trying to disrespect the Andy Lewis character from Utah, but I just think, like, the phrase professional sportsman is like, I don't know. I'm a professional sportsman in whatever sports you can be a sportsman in. I sound very credible there. I know what I'm talking about. Let's see. So the video he posted apparently is a fairly short clip, barely 30 seconds long, and very shadowy, and you basically just see what appears to be the monolith lying down in a wheelbarrow as somebody quickly rolls it out of the desert or the park. The man says, it's one of the men with a headlamp. He says, the safe word is run, apparently, in the video. I haven't watched the said video, but I'll take New York Times word for it. Let's see. Also, his friend Sylvan Christensen said he had taken part in the dismantling of the sculpture, and they even sent a statement to the New York Times explaining that the group took it upon themselves to destroy. Oh, so exactly, that's what I was thinking. The group took it upon themselves to destroy the sculpture to protect the area, not only from the incursion of a silvery sculpture, but also from the gawkers who had begun to descend on it. They wrote, this land wasn't physically prepared for the population shift. I mean, actually good points. And I don't think the area isn't meant to be, like, trampled over. Inevitably people are going to fucking ruin it. Like, even the photographer at the beginning of the story, what was his dickhead name? Bernard. So yeah, the Nard dog. So he was there to photograph the thing, right? And that wasn't usually a spot to do it. So it's one of those things, like, the more and more and more humans invade and, like, create new trails or create new spots to go to, the likelihood of creatures being displaced, plant life being destroyed, and ecosystems being ruined is greater. And so I don't disagree with that motive to take it down, but I mean, it definitely leaves suspicion that they could have still put it there. Although, one of the interesting things about this whole appearance is that supposedly it had been placed there a little while ago. Not like, we're not talking like decades ago or anything like that. We're talking like half a decade ago, maybe. There was no evidence of who could have placed it, right? I mean, but then again, like, it could have been sitting there and just recently was discovered. Sort of like this one in Romania. Although the one in Romania I haven't looked too much into yet. But what's interesting is that it's definitely, people are trying to call it like an art installation or something. I think whoever put it there, whether it's man, alien, creature from the Black Lagoon, who the fuck ever, it was definitely meant to cause attention and to be reminiscent of the Monolith's place that Kubrick used in 2001: A Space Odyssey. You know, not big and black and imposing, but large and silver and imposing. And you know, again, it's captivated attention. It's not the weirdest shit that's happened this year, that's for sure, but it definitely is a head scratcher, and you want to know who fucking did it. Artists and artist communities across the states have been casually speculating that whoever put the sculpture up probably had taken it down once it was discovered. You know, some of these things speculate in this New York Times article, and I mean, yeah, I agree. I wonder, but I imagine, like, now that it was discovered, whoever put it up was finally getting what they wanted, right? But maybe they were just not invested in it immediately gratifying their need for attention, but just sort of wanted to play the long game, because that makes it more mysterious, right? You quietly do something like this 5 years ago, and you just wait and waiting for the day that, like, a helicopter flies overhead and catches this gleam of sunlight off of this giant metal monolith. Not giant, I mean, it was like two people tall. 2 average people tall, standing on each other's shoulder. Or, you know, you could be like the conspiracy theorists we all are deep down inside, and want to say, like, maybe some fucking aliens put it there, man. Maybe some fucking aliens just were collecting, like, 5G information on us, man. That's actually where the 5G coronavirus comes from. I'm just joking. No, it was definitely something people did. Anyway, it's interesting that these people, I wanted to just sort of, like, bring attention to the fact that these people showed up in the desert to dismantle it. It's interesting to hear that they did it for conservation reasons, which doesn't surprise me. Like, people that live and appreciate and do and are constantly, you know, doing outdoors activities, learn appreciation for their surroundings, right? And they want them to be preserved so everybody can enjoy them. And that's how everybody should fucking look at nature, right? We weren't gifted this thing. We're special because we get to participate in this world and the nature around us, and be part of it, and not be the conquering force of it, you know? Either way, still kind of early for me. Have like 1 cup of coffee. I'm done with this podcast. Go out there, use your brains for good. Every day is a good day to ripen up that coconut. And, well, you know, keep your stick on the ice.